Hello everyone, it's Kay here and I'm here today to share some little things that I've been making. I got my embellishment head on following the two little albums that I made, primarily to try and use up the scraps that I've had left over. So continuing with the Steampunk Romance theme, apologies to those that are all tired of it, I had some scraps that I did want to utilise, and that's exactly what I've done. So I'll start with the heart-shaped ones that I made, and there are quite a few. Anyone that follows me knows that I batch make, especially when it's embellishments. I just think it's the only way to go. And as I've said, I had all these scraps of the Steampunk Romance papers left over, so I decided I would just use them all up. So I've got some corrugated hearts which I've cut with dies, a tiny little spray of flowers, discover as my word or sentiment, and a tiny little bird. Prior to placing all of these things on top, I just brushed the heart shape with a paralysed pink, and then around the edges of the plain corrugated hearts I've used some Tim Holtz photo distress ink just to go around and, you know, finish up the edges. And the actual steampunk paper bit obviously is the larger of the two hearts here, but it made a nice representation for the purposes of the embellishments. So I actually went on to make 7 of these and was delighted. The little bird is also a die, and I've just used mirror board for that. Very plain on the back, as you can see, so you could use it for a card topper for belly bands, as Amanda Charlesworth Scrimping Mommy did in one of her recent videos. They come in really handy, and it's nice to have a little supply of things that are there just to be grabbed for an occasion and utilised on different projects. So that's the 7 of those, and I really am quite thrilled with how they came out there. There's enough on them for them to be interesting and dimensional, and probably amount to a cluster, really and truly. But you know, these have been around for a long time. I then found a different shape that I wanted to work with, and these are the next lot of embellishments that I made. And it's the sentiment is a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, which is only just too true. I've layered that on a ticket die, again just distressed ink the edge of the main die, the Steampunk Romance paper underneath, because it is a layered die. The tiny little bird here, I'm very fond of this. I can't remember who made it. I foolishly got rid of the packaging and put it in my die storage, and it's a fatal thing to do because realistically you don't remember. It was from a local store and it was out at Easter, but I fell in love with it the moment I saw it. And then this is another die, and I've just cut it about really. It was a wreath of leaves, and I've just cut it about to pop in behind the overall design of this particular embellishment. And again, I made a good few. They are absolutely identical. The difference being there is perhaps a little extra bit of sprig here and there, because I'd made two lots of cutouts and hoped I'd be able to do enough with it, but didn't in the end. And you'll see the various designs from the Steampunk Romance going on in the background there, and that's the final one of that. And then no embellishment making little set 2 is valid without the use of bows They are so diverse, so open to being made to look beautiful that I just had to have a go. So this was my first one that I made, and I've just used some of the webbed Diamante stuff. I was given some a long time ago and haven't really used it, and then I just split it because it was a double reel. Oh, I know, it was Handy Hippo as was that I got this from, and then decorated the bow by making 2 layers so that it was plain craft card on the back and then the steampunk lined onto the main body of the bow, and one of these lovely orchid craft daisies just sits in the centre, and it's all topped off with that meagre little bit of lace, but I always think it adds a little something extra to embellishments if you have some that you can just use. So I made 3 of those, again absolutely identical. I'm a creature of habit, but they come in great for little giveaways, for racks, for little gifts for friends and that kind of thing. You know, there's always a place for this kind of embellishment. I think I better widen out because I'm losing the overall look here of such a lot of lovely things. And then this was the next bow that I went on to make. Same principle, only this time I used a much smaller flower. It is the same bow die, and then I fished out a little bit of this dangly lace and just cut it about and made the dangle from the centre of the bow, and I just felt they came out really nicely. Absolutely thrilled to bits also to have used up a whole load of scraps, which is what embellishments, you know, should be about really. It shouldn't be breaking into new things, it should just be utilising what you've got on your desk, so to speak. And there are lots of videos sharing people who actually do use what's right in front of them and come up with some glorious little bits and pieces for their craft work. So what I'm proposing to do, by way of a tiny little giveaway that I can also include my international subscribers in, and that is that I will send 2 or 3 of each of the embellishments that I've made, and also 1 each of the bows, just so that you perhaps can take some inspiration from what I've shared with you today. And as I say, it will be open to my subscribers. It's not open to people that just pop in for a lucky-see, because it's a little bit of a giveaway. It is tiny, it's not going to amount to very much, but hopefully people who follow me would like a little share of what I've made over the last couple of days. And all you need to do is say count me in under this video, and I will do the draw probably on Sunday. Yeah, I think Sunday. That's 4 days. Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, 4 days clear for people to state an interest in the little giveaway. So thank you as always for sharing this time with me, and as always I hope you've been inspired and that you've enjoyed what you've seen. Take care everyone, happy crafting, bye bye for now.